Okay, welcome to our new style of lesson. We're here to reach you guys, the students, the children. Shakespeare was the original rapper, etc. So open your books to Real Housewives of Orange County Season 8, released in 2013. We will be recapping the first half of the season, episodes 1 through 11. So let's start with the prologue. What happened in Season 7? In the last edition of Real Housewives Season 7, new girl Heather Dubrow rocked the cast with her mega mansion, plastic surgeon husband Terry, brown hair, and East Coast sensibilities. Heather found a natural enemy in Alexis Bellino, who was also hated by basically everyone, including Alexis's former best friend, Gretchen. On a Costa Rica trip, Gretchen, Tamra, and Heather all attack Alexis for pretending to be rich and classy. Alexis is shook. She wants her husband, according to Jim Bellino, to confront Heather's husband because he called Alexis a phony. Jim walks out with his one-on-one with Terry because he feels ambushed when the housewives join the skirmish. Okay. Tamra created an unholy alliance, or friendship, with Gretchen, which frustrated Vicki and pushed her into her own unholy alliance or friendship with Alexis to make their ex-friends jealous. At the end of the season, Tamra and Vicki have a dramatic friendship breakup. Tamra also got engaged. Finally, Vicki's creepy relationship with Brooks, buying him teeth, buying him everything, has also deeply upset and disturbed Tamra and Vicki's children, including her newly married daughter, Brianna. And that's now you're all caught up.
That's the thesis.
That's the thesis. Okay, sorry, I want to type this. Cut this, Jason. Okay. So let's get into the characters from this season, and a little bit into their archetypes, their arcs, the exposition. Let's start with Vicki. Oh. Beautiful Vicki. Beautiful Vicki. She looks great this season.
She looks great. She wants to love out loud.
She does. She does. Her life is so full of love right now. Her daughter Brianna has just given birth, and she's a grandma now.
And she is actually very excited about it.
She's such a good grandma, I think, this season.
They're living with her.
Yes. And she opened her doors to help them, like with Ryan's army career and like Brianna being a nurse and having health issues in the past. So
they're staying with her.
But their one rule is sadly
no Brooks allowed.
No Brooks allowed, which is difficult. Vicki this season is the archetype of the love-torn woman because she is so rock hard for Brooks's Riddler dick.
Yeah. But also, rock hard to be a good mother.
Yeah, she's like, she like I said, she reminds me of an evil version of my mom. And like, she is just so nurturing and loves kids so much. And she wants to look like a good mom and a good grandma on camera. For now. So she's trying to balance this, and Brooks is kind of stirring the pot with her, making her feel guilty when she cancels, like, to babysit, cancels plans with him. Even though, like, he doesn't have a job. He could, like, easily...
Oh, he has a job, honey.
Dirty John. Real estate development, buying and selling, flipping, working from home. Buy, sell
insurance.
Meanwhile, Alexis Bellino returns to the cast, even though she had threatened not to at the reunion, despite spending the summer saying she's been bullied by the other women and threatening Tamra with legal action. Also, Jim has opened a trampoline park. Sky Zone. It's really funny the way that their roles have changed, where now this season on camera, Alexis is like really the outcast this season, more than ever, more than last season even. But in her relationship with Jim, while she started as like, the groveling, submissive wife, now she clearly wears the pants and is the breadwinner, and Jim is kind of insecure, like openly insecure. Yes, dear. Yeah, like she's the new Jim.
Show. That's not according to Jim anymore. No, it's
yes, dear.
King of Queens.
King of Queens, yeah. Now she said, Kevin, you can go fuck yourself. So that's actually like it really shows kind of Alexis, her story coming full circle, while she still also plays the fool in this season and gives us many moments of comedic relief from what a silly Billy she is. She also like has kind of come into her own in many ways. And her storyline is foreshadowing coming to a close. Tamra is busy planning her wedding to Eddie Judge with the opening of her new gym, Cut Fitness. Yep. So she kind of starts off, I would say she's a little bit the villain the first half of the season.
She's trying to be, she's trying to make Vicki look like the villain and Alexis look like the villain, but like anybody who wants to be friends with Gretchen, sorry, that makes
suspect.
The villain.
Yes, suspect. And she just like, we see the picture of like Tamra, she's also like she's doing too much, you know. She's like a working mother. She's trying to please Eddie.
It's like to Ryan of like the list of what she's doing.
Yes,
the wedding and the Cut Fitness and being friends with Gretchen and Slay. It's not that bad.
And then also trying to make up with Vicki, and like she's just trying to do too many things, and it's making her very shrill and like making her rage come out a lot because she's just juggling so much. Not in a way we like. She's really mean to Eddie because Eddie's overwhelmed with Cut Fitness and not as interested in wedding planning.
Wedding date.
Yeah. Which they shouldn't really be worrying about that right now.
Do
the wedding later.
Courthouse wedding.
No, it's going to be a Bravo wedding. But like, why not just wait till season 9? Do the gym he was probably like, let's do the gym this season. It's better for business. We'll be less overwhelmed. And the wedding next season. And she was like, no, this is my season. We're doing it all. And that's what makes her a little bit the villain all at once. But then it's Tamra. She's our girl. She's so savvy. So there's a late in this first half season revelation that spins her. That all of the Bravo execs were so like, she turns the tables. All the Bravo execs were so impressed with what she does, but we'll get into it in the Rising Action. And then she turns into the bitch with a heart of gold, which is Tamra at her finest.
So good.
Heather is focused on balancing her family with her acting career. I would say Heather, she has the center orange this season. I think she takes the hero's journey this season. I think that once she gets offered a part, offer only, on Malibu Country, it was written for her, which was a sitcom on TV Land with Wendy Malick and Betty White. Like, really, like, you know, pretty good show. People. Yeah, real talented, famous comedians. Yes, and she, when she goes to the table read, she holds her own with them. Like, also, I think what people don't realize about Heather is like, her sitcom that she was the lead of had Paul Sorvino, Kevin Dillon, like all these fantastic actors, and she was the star. So it's like the bitch has chops. But because she's the hero, she does have some obstacles, which is having to juggle her family and shooting, driving to LA, and worst of all, that when Heather first introduces this storyline, Terry is trying to make jokes and make it about himself. And just kind of being a little bit jealous. Who's gonna watch the kids? I've never even bent them. You know, like doing his bits.
Watch the kids? Who's gonna feed the kids while you're out gallivanting in LA?
Yeah, and it's like so clearly. I think it's like he's clearly a little jealous because he's such a theater kid, and also I think he wants, since this is going to be her big storyline this season, he's like, but what about Terry? Terry's got to get his jokes in.
Yeah, where does Terry fit in Malibu Country?
Exactly, or like Orange County. Like Terry really needed Botched, and it hadn't come just yet. So Terry is like, you know, really trying to showcase his jokes and how he needs a TV show, and what Heather feels like.
Here.
Exactly. And Heather's like, no, this shouldn't be about your return to Hollywood. It should be about mine.
I've done the mom thing. Guest appearance on Malibu Country, a role that was written for me.
Literally written for her. So then she does, of course, she is, spoiler alert, triumphant, does a great job. We'll get to it later. So Gretchen will start her transition from sidekick to villain as this season continues. We don't like to talk about Gretchen too much because her and Slater's such a bummer. But they are They are
still
planning
around for
still.
this season.
Yes,
You
they're
gotta
still
bring
around.
some
They're planning to
tensile
have.
heads.
Yeah, they're planning to have a child, which
They
I
have
only
had
allowed
though.
myself one talking about him being a deadbeat dad this episode, so we won't get into it. But they are gonna have a kid and get married. They've decided. We were all on eggshells. Ugh. And also
They never get married.
they never get married. Well, I think they are now.
They are not married.
Oh, damn.
They are not married. On their Instagram bios, it says like, you know, Slade's wife and like Slade says like Gretchen's husband, but legally they are not married.
Really? I thought
They
that they
never got married. They had a kid. They do have a
yeah,
child, but they don't have a marriage.
because he can't. I guess maybe he still can't be like making her MLM money, or like because
And they
then
still
he'll have
live
to
in
pay
that
the.
same house. They still
You
live in
can.
that same house.
Damn.
Did Jeff buy her that house?
I don't think so because I thought he ended up not leaving or
Anyway, they live
anything.
in that same house that she owned when she was on OSE, like the one that we see now.
Yeah.
They still live there.
Yeah, I do think she ended up getting fucked because his debt was more than his trust.
Anyway, her and Slade still living in sin.
Yes, still living in sin, and she'll go from Gretchen's sidekick and lackey to the villain. So watch this space. We also meet Lydia McLaughlin, an oft forgotten housewife. Yes, they got another Lydia, which is strange to me. How many Tammys and Lydias are on this show when it doesn't? Neither seems like that common of a name, but whatever.
Anything goes.
So Lydia is a rich, happy-go-lucky, wildly sheltered Jesus freak. Yeah, adult child, like who knows Alexis through Jesus Club meetings. Yes, she's very like.
She's just every day. She just got back from a young life meeting.
Yes, very young life energy. Jason, our producer, Michelle's husband, calls her Minnie Mouse. She has big time Minnie Mouse.
He really likes her. It's been a hard week.
Yeah, I understand. I actually, I talked to y'all about this yesterday, was impressed by how much she does hold her own, and how she is eager to like inject her Jesus-y positivity into conflict, even if it's not helpful, but that she doesn't.
She's really doing something.
She's really doing something. She doesn't fold. She's got the Lord in her heart, and Jesus is taking the wheel, and she really is showing up and participating. Yeah, unless there are strippers.
Doesn't do shit.
He does not. She is from like a super rich family. Her mom.
Know that I grew up very privileged.
Very, very privileged. And her mom is like kind of a hippie chick, glitter demon who like everyone.
She covers everybody in fairy dust, which is just glitter.
Which is like a curse. It's like giving everyone herpes, but I like her mom.
Out of your hair.
Yeah, it's annoying. But I do think I would like her if I met her. She's just like a hippy dippy daffy, you know.
Have her on the show.
Oh my god. Well, let's reach out. We'll send her. Cam will send her a gift. An herbal gift.
The ultimate gift.
The ultimate gift. He'll send her a shit. No, she is a big fan of Mary Jane, which is a bone of contention for Lydia. But Lydia is this season, she's both the ingenue. She's very wide-eyed and new to this toxic world. And she's also the peacemaker. Her goal is to bring peace to the cast.
How she's introduced to the group is she's sort of friends with Alexis.
Sort of friends. Yes. They
saw each other at a park.
Right. Or probably like church, like across the church. They locked eyes. All right. Inciting. Let's get into the inciting incident as we continue the dramatic structure of the season. Changes. Changes. So the season's first major tense moment that really gets us off and rolling is Tamra's gym christening. Tamra has opened Cut Fitness, and before it fully opens, she wants to have all the ladies to have it saged and make sure that spiritual energy is right. And what better way than to have a dinner where everyone fights and it's on camera. And Tamra also even wants to extend an olive branch to Vicki, because she knows that Vicki's had some distance with Brooks, because she's taking care of her grandbaby. Yeah. Also, I think probably Tamra is like kind of bored of Gretchen because Gretchen is not fun like Vicki. So she invites Vicki to make amends. Oh, also they are in business together. They decided to start a wine club, even though they're not friends anymore. They are business partners, so they've got to make it right.
Wives. Yep.
So Vicki asks to bring Alexis. Tamra says yes, but then on camera many times she says, I should have said no. I wish I'd said no. I regret saying yes, but she said yes. Yep. So then when Alexis shows up to the dinner, it's pretty much immediate fireworks. Mm-hmm. Sorry, it's parched. Pretty much immediately, Gretchen and Heather and Tamra are attacking Alexis because they're upset she uses the word bullying to describe what happened in Costa Rica. Alexis maintains that's what it was. That was the dictionary definition of bullying, is when more people gang up against one person. I wish the dictionary didn't say that, but it is what it is.
And yeah, wow, the spirals.
The spirals. I mean, Heather is...
Sisters are spiraling.
The sisters are they are like the three, like the weird witches hand in hand.
The
like,
Sandersons.
Yes, during the spiritual blessing dinner, they're like putting a hex on her. Like, ne'er shall you say...
Like, they're in Cut Fitness, which is not done. Like,
it's very dangerous.
Like, construction zone. Yeah, there's like, there's just like nails everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was like Tamra was in a rush. She was like, all right, we gotta just come in how it is now, because then the next is my bachelorette party and I gotta fit this all in a season.
Yeah,
and gotta yell. Tamra is especially vicious, and eventually she screams at Alexis to get out. She pushes her out.
It's literally... I have the fucking chills. It is one of the great moments in Housewives history. This moment where she is yelling at Alexis so much, and she's like, "You can get the fuck out!"
I agree.
I'm pointing to the door where there should be a door, where there's just like an opening because the building is not done.
Go walk through that wall right now.
Like Roger Rabbit style. Walk through walls. And then, everyone's just kind of sitting around like, this is kind of horrific even for reality TV and Tamra behavior.
Yeah.
The way that she's yelling at Alexis, who was trying to tell Tamra, I mean, whatever about Alexis, but she is trying to tell Tamra how she made her feel.
Yes.
And Tamra's like, you can get the fuck out! And then, oh my God, what Tamra does to Vicki. Chef's kisses.
Yeah. So, at first, Vicki follows Alexis out.
Oh, yeah. Before that, though, sorry, Lauren. Tamra also does get out of her chair and pulls Alexis's chair out. So she really means
physically.
Like, I'm going to physically
picks her up. Yeah. Like, and then get out. Yes. So, Vicki follows her out first because she's like, I invite her. I got to take care of her. And like, Tamra is screaming at Vicki for...
You can get the fuck out too.
Yeah.
You want to defend her. You can get the fuck out too.
Yeah. And Lydia is like completely shell shocked. It's her first real taste.
Be, seeing this sort of thing.
No.
These things rated G.
Exactly. But Lydia, again, she handles it decently. She's like, she like makes kind of peacemakes between the two groups. She's like, I feel bad for Alexis, but I don't think she's bullied.
Right.
And then there's a lot of stuff said that were this 2024, I think it would have a very different reaction, where they're talking about, she says she's got to be on Xanax because of us. There are people who actually need Xanax, not her stupid made up rich lady problems from Miss Heather Dubrow. Bullying is like people kill themselves because of bullying. She was not bullied. It's like none of this is...
even trying to explain to Alexis that she can't use the word bullying. What's happening to her is not bullying.
Right.
And, they're all like, at this point, Alexis...
But isn't it? Like
of a limo,
but like it is, they were bullying her 100%.
Yeah,
but it's also the show she signed up for. Like, if you don't like it, she could have left. She said she was going to leave, but she didn't leave, and now she's not doing the right things to move forward with these women, which so ultimately
in the backseat of a limo
having a panic attack,
explained by Minnie Mouse that she's not being bullied, while talking about needing medication for anxiety because of what she's like endured because of Tamra in the show.
And but yeah, it's like, I believe you, that is the job. But I do think if this had happened in 2024, that people would have 100% defended Alexis. And I think maybe that's part of why in this new season, Tamra allied with her so fast. She didn't want these old clips coming up.
Right.
Just a conspiracy theory, but
or they would have just cut it from the show.
Yeah. So Vicki goes back in, and Heather, this whole time Vicki's been gone, she's like trying to get Tamra. She's like, well, ask Vicki to come back.
Can we
like
get the main course yet? We've only had salads.
Yes. And it's midnight.
Salads and so much alcohol.
So much alcohol at midnight in an abandoned building. Like
Alexis is in the backseat of a limo taking Xanax.
Yes. And finally, like, I think begrudgingly Tamra comes out and Vicki goes back in, and like Heather's like, please stay for the seance or whatever the fuck is happening.
I'm hungry.
And Vicki does like, she is willing to play ball a little bit, but Tamra is so pissed. She's still, when she gets locked into that, when she's full of rage, that's the one time she really can't control what she's doing and saying. She's like, if you defend her, like, if you're friends with her, like, then fuck you. Like, you know, I don't need any of this. We're done. And so Vicki,
it's just like,
I mean, Vicki's still having kind of a good sense of humor about this. She's like, I don't know, should I stay? Like, it's a school night.
Should I go? I mean, and I'm not talking about this partying with Tamra. I'm talking about with Brianna and Brooks.
Yes, like I'm not even worried about this. I am just thinking about Brooks's like Riddler dick right now.
I have to have sex with him in a public place because he's not invited to the house.
This will be my car again. Like, what are we gonna do it?
My car.
That's the thing, is like Vicki is like pretty unbothered with anything, but
it's like her home life is such a disaster.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know, whatever.
And there's a newborn upstairs.
Yeah, lots going on. And so Alexis sends Lydia back in, and to see if Vicki is staying or going. Alexis feels very betrayed that Vicki would even go back in when she invited her to this party. It's like Vicki went back in for like 10 minutes. Yeah. And then they both decide to leave, Lydia and Vicki. And then a weird like witch lady comes and has them say prayers and sages. It's like pseudo religious hippie.
Lydia's like, I don't know if this is good.
That's probably why she left, is she didn't want any of the like Harry Potter witchy stuff happening around her on camera. Jesus doesn't like that. No. Yeah.
And is Tamra's Snape?
Oh yeah, Tamra's a snake.
No, Snape.
Oh, Tamra is Snape. Yeah.
Professor Snape.
She's totally Snape right now. But she's going to turn into good Snape by the end. We'll see why she was snaping all along. Okay, so let's get into the rising action. So this was the big event that set the whole season off. Now here's the rising action that brings us to the eventual climax of this half of the season. So the group goes on a wine tasting trip to Malibu. This was mostly because Vicki and Tamra have this aforementioned wine club that a bunch of people have joined, where I don't really understand. It's like they're also going to have some of the wines at Cut Fitness too, but then also the wines are being sent out.
But they're not making the wines. They don't have a winery, but they do take the label off of whatever wine it is and just put their own picture on it. And it's like Vicki's pick, Tamra's pick.
I think the reason this is murky is maybe because it's murky legally, so they can't really
understand it. Like, I don't get it, but
Eddie's like, don't really explain it, honey. Don't leave it.
Well, wines by wives.
Yes. So the tensions between all the relationships really kick off at a wine tasting like brunch. Eddie goes biking. What?
What a fun brunch.
Oh, it's so fun. So fun. Everyone falls apart. Eddie goes biking with Slade instead of filming lunch. So Tamra's already so pissed. You have 3 hours to go on a bike ride with Slade, and then but you don't have time to plan the wedding. I think she's kind of mad that he's getting close with Slade, even though like she's
only pretending to like Gretchen.
Yes. She's like, dude,
Eddie really likes Slade? That's a problem.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't even think he does like Slade. I think he is addicted to exercise.
That, and he just probably is like, if I can have a break from like not
filming
to tell you to like stop talking because we can get sued.
Yes, yeah. I want to
like, because 3 hours on a bike is like obscene.
Yeah, I think it's just to not have to film right then, especially when she's relentlessly pushing this plot that he's not helping enough with the wedding, and he's like, He's
I
like,
need
not
you to
only
set a date, blah blah blah.
yeah, you're not only nagging me about this, but I've got to be your unpaid legal counsel, which most people make like $200 an hour for, but I'm making no money. Like being paid by the scene here by Bravo because I'm a husband.
Yeah.
So anyway, Terry and Heather also let the group in on their marital difficulties. They mentioned the weird conversation about Malibu country, and Terry mentions he dropped the D word in his fight with Heather. Which
Not drama.
is it was actually really shows Terry's instincts are really good because I think the only reason he did was to use it later, and because like all of the wives love this because they've all been through divorces.
Yeah, so then Terry's like telling all the wives like, I dropped the D word.
Divorce.
And they're like, Terry.
Yes. They're like, perfect. They're like, gives me an in to be like, I remember. Vicky's like, I remember when me and Dawn first started talking about divorce, and Tamra's like, I remember when we first started threatening divorce, me and Simon, all of their like lovely stories.
Their memories start flooding back in. Oh,
yes.
My first divorce.
It's such a gift to his scene partners.
She's like, I can't believe that he'd say this. Is this because of the onion rings? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Heather's not taking it too seriously, the whole divorce thing. It wasn't.
They'll never be divorced.
No, and everything they do, they do kind of play games. They're a package, and they play games with each other on camera, but the stakes aren't high like the sexual games that Joe and Slade used to play.
It's not sexual games. It's just like
it's theater games. It's like they're improvisers basically.
But their games bring them in so much money.
Yes, yeah. Play good games, win good prizes, money in TV shows. Yep. Tamra is also upset to hear about Vicki's vodka. Vicki is starting a vodka line, which again isn't tasting vodka. Bacon
vodka and it's not because of what Slade said. By the way, we talked about what Vicki's done.
Oh yes, Vicki has. She has done like a
nose job,
facial reconstruction. Yeah.
But the thing is, she's had a lot of work done. I think she looks good, but they did start filming like not long after she's had kind of a lot of work done. So it's not all like sort of settled and it's not done.
She doesn't look as good as she does the next season. She's still healing. She's still healing,
so she doesn't look her best.
Yes, but she's always been willing to, like, it's not like she plans badly like Lydia and like accidentally gets the work done on camera and then can't move. It's like she gets a facelift later on camera. Like she just doesn't care. Yeah. She feels so unattractive no matter what, I think.
No, it's not because Slade called me Miss Piggy that I got a nose job, so I feel like I don't look like a pig. I'm not starting a bacon vodka line because of Miss Piggy. It's like bacon and vodka, which I can't imagine anything more disgusting, honestly. That's disgusting.
I actually think if they got it right in a Bloody Mary, that would be a huge hit.
Bloody Mary. You know what? This is shocking. I'm prepared to be shocked. I don't love bacon.
Wow. Is it because you're Jewish?
I mean, I guess maybe because I didn't grow up eating it, and I have had bacon since I do eat pork. I think when you put bacon in something, like if I eat it by itself, it's fine. I think when you put bacon on things, like that's all you taste.
Yeah, but that's what I like about it.
On like a sandwich, or like people put bacon on a like burger, it's like you only taste bacon. It's so strong.
Yeah, but that's what I like.
Lauren, shut up! I've never even seen you eat bacon.
You saw me eat a bacon cheeseburger Whataburger at my party. Karaoke party. Yeah, you did. You said, I've never seen you eat carbs before.
Oh, I haven't seen you eat carbs before.
You did? You saw me eat that bacon Whataburger. I didn't
know there was bacon in it. Had I known, I would have left the room.
Too much for me. A betrayal.
You can get the fuck out.
Walk through your wall and
go, Roger Rabbit. Walk through that wall.
Step on some nails on the way out. That actually is what my home is like.
That's what cut business means.
Cut.
You get all cut up.
You'll get cut in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
Tamra's mad about this competing Vicki's vodka brand, which doesn't even sound like it's like Vicki's vodka.
Sound like a competition, like slapping your picture on another person's wine
is different than Vicki investing in a bacon vodka brand, which I honestly think it probably was a good investment for her. I bet it made a lot of money. I wasn't sure if it was called that or Tamra was calling her that.
I thought she was called like Vicky's vodka.
Yeah. See, that's bad. That's too many gimmicks. It's either do plain Vicky's vodka or invest in a bacon vodka. You know?
I think it was her vodka line.
That's where they went wrong, in my opinion.
Where they went wrong is Brooks was part of the business.
Oh, yes. He's always shilling something. So then Eddie and Slade return, all sweaty, Tamra says. 3 hours later. And the ladies are actually wrapping up lunch. They've got to change clothes for the night wine tasting. Eddie wants...
Exhausting. Okay, how do they drink like this?
I know, during the day while shooting.
We were like
20s. But then...
Some in our 30s.
They have to be on Adderall, I think.
But even still, it's like...
yeah.
I just don't want any more wine at that point. Like, did you drink that much during the day?
Well, I think that's kind of what happens with Vicki, is she does, like, peter out and is like...
Yeah, she might still... Maybe she's on, like, medication from, like, from her healing journey.
Oh, yeah, her Helen.
Surgery.
Yeah. But, yeah, so when they Tamra leaves Eddie, pissed off. What?
Just got it.
Helen journey. Which is Helen. And so then they, go back to a different, like, restaurant, like, pub thing where they're tasting red wines. And, Tamra is kind of like Vicki feels like she's elbowing her out to, try them with Gretchen.
Yeah, Tamra's like, oh, I want to taste wines for my biz,
for my business, yeah.
Yeah, Vicki should be taking this more seriously. Like, she's getting upset. And it's like, bitch, like, you've had, like, 50 glasses of wine today. No one's taking, like, I can't take, like, the fact that anybody's, like, able to stand and, like, vomiting in one of these, like, wine, like, where you spit out the wine buckets is, like, actually insane, and that's great.
Yeah, each one she's like, red. Like, she herself is like, I don't even know. Like, really.
She didn't taste anything at that point. By the way, I've never been able to, like, taste wine. Like,
me neither.
I drink one thing, and it's Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
Because when I drink red wine, you know what happens to me?
What?
I get it all over my face and all over my tongue.
I
just look like I've been making out with, like, a purple octopus.
Like the popsicle face. When I drink red wine, I get rosacea and throw up.
Rosacea, yeah. Do you get, like, the splashes and stuff?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, mostly, like, when I drink, I get rosacea, which is why I don't as much anymore. But red wine, trip to the toilet.
Yeah, no. And why is it warm? Maybe I don't want to be drinking warm things.
Yeah. Although it's become more popular to chill it as per Below Deck. Which I think
I don't care what they're doing below the deck. Up on here on Earth? On planet Earth?
Not in Atlantis.
Yeah. I don't care what you're doing below, like, in your little submarine time.
She's kidding, though. We will cover Below Deck at some point. Reach out if you would like us to. Yeah,
reach out if you would like to guest host. And so I don't have to.
You're gonna get addicted. There's so much laundry and chores being done. It's very cathartic. Vicki is kind of whining about the wine. She's trying on fur coats.
Yeah, she's being a drunk person.
Yes. She's not drinking anymore.
She's so hammered.
Yes. She's got a dinner in LA she's got to get to with Brooks.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
By the way, the sun is still up. Like, it is
That's
still
wild.
early in the day.
Yeah. The way they
way that they part, I mean, it's crazy. Like, I would have such a headache.
Yeah.
That's a lot of wine.
Especially, like, Gretchen, like, the only scenes where she talks and is a part of the cast, she's so drunk, like, and she's a part of the scene in this one, and then the Cut Fitness dinner, and she's like, you're the one who did it. Like, the only time she talks, she's like 18 drinks in. I'm like, how does she not get naked wasted? Her hair, perfect.
Her hair, like, this is, like, her flip has, like, always, like, her hair's always been like this.
Yep.
I can't even do it.
She's the queen of drag. Terrible, but the queen of drag.
Oh my god.
So then, as Vicki leaves to go to dinner, Tamra drunkenly confronts her. You don't even care about our business. Vicki's like, I gotta go.
I gotta go to LA. I have friends in LA.
And
I got dinner.
And Tamra says, you're such a bitch.
Bitch. Like, how dare you eat?
Yes.
Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
And it's like, it's not even the wine tasting. They'd already picked out their wines. It was for cut.
Legitimate, like, business venture.
No.
Like, okay, like, I get it. You have to pretend like we have this business. I get it. Their business is literally just actually just slapping their name on somebody else's product. And then it's like, oh, we need to go for like this is not a research and development trip. Okay, there's no R&D.
No,
So,
this is a shoot. This is a shoot.
Write off any of this as like a business. What you're
Yeah.
doing today.
It's just a shoot, and like, why would she want to be friends with you during the shoot when you were just terrible to her, Tamra, and are screaming, "You're such a bitch" at her.
Let Vicki wear the alpaca jacket, which is in this winery inexplicably.
Yes, but she thinks it's faux.
It's faux.
Faux, like faux pas, faux fur.
Faux fur.
Gotta
go to LA.
Gotta go to LA. So then the tension with Alexis continues to build as she continues not to shoot with the other girlies. And we juxtapose... They don't want her to.
She's not invited to anything.
They juxtapose Heather at a table read with Wendy Malick, my goddess, performing a part that was written for her in like the friggin' TV Land Studios in LA. And then we
Studios, yes.
Ooh la la. I can't remember what company it was a branch of. Probably it's a Lauren Selaznick joints. But I don't know the bigger umbrella company. We'll look it up later. Probably. I think probably it was.
Yeah.
Probably
they're
LZ.
all getting,
Yeah, but that's probably why they would do the crossover. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would like Disney or somebody write us something just for Heather Dubrow?
Yeah. And I think it was so smart. Like that show was actually like did pretty good in the ratings. It started TV Land's like whole cable program. They did a lot of smart stunt casting like this. It really, even though I think this was the year that LZ retired, I do think this all sounds like the brilliance of the mind of LZ. Mm-hmm. And again, buy her book. Yes. I'm reading it. It's really good. So we see Heather at this table read, and she's like, oh, it's like, seeing all my old friends. It's so fun. She like kills the table read. She doesn't stutter or anything. And then we see Alexis auditioning to be in an acting class, talking about her previous film role where she did like a paragraph and she'd stop and a paragraph and she'd stop. And the acting teacher goes, actually, those are called speeches. They are not called speeches. They are called monologues, like which any person who's taken a theater class would know. So that's like the level of acting class we're at.
Grade theater class.
Yes. But because based on looks alone, and the fact that she brought a Rolls Royce to the parking lot and a camera crew, she is accepted to be in this acting class. It's basically, yeah. No, it was very Barry vibes, like very Henry Winkler's class. Yeah. And so, we even see her like doing a scene, and at first she's doing bad acting. And then the guy's like, what if you make it conversational? Remember, you're yourself when you act. And then she just does it with like no inflection at all. He's like, let's go change the oil in my car. And she goes, I'm going to go change the oil in your car. And everyone's like, woo! And Alexis is like, I'm an actor.
Yeah, no, I want to see her do scenes from like A Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh my God. Why didn't they get footage of that? I want to see her do a lot of speeches, a lot of paragraphs and a lot of speeches. Mm-hmm. So then it's the Malibu country shoot. It's Heather's heroic moment. She's about to cross the threshold. Her journey is complete. So all of the housewives attend her big day. They drive out to see the shoot.
The Malibu country.
The Malibu country shoot. But everyone's there on
like a live
taping.
Live audience.
Yes, this is a multicam. One of the last successful multicams. No, that's not true. Other than Chuck Lorre. Shows.
I was almost said I Love Lucy. I was thinking of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Well, that was over by now, I think.
Was it? I don't know. I feel like that show was on a long time.
Yeah, well, it was still in its last few seasons, if it was still in there.
Its infancy.
Yes. So Gretchen and Slade are unfortunately running late to the taping because guess what? She comes out from her office meeting, whatever her fake job is, handbags, and it's a Rolls Royce and it's her car. Baby, are you pranking me? I mean, how can I afford this? Like, we suddenly have this money I don't know about? And he says, actually, it's only a few $100s more than your current lease. So I just went ahead and switched it for you. And Gretchen says, this is like, clearly they wrote this whole scene before, and this is like such badly written exposition. And she goes, that's so funny because I was right about to make another payment on my old car. But then it turns out, I guess I don't have to now because I'm making a payment on this. Did you already talk to our financial planner about this? And Slade goes, yes, I did.
Wow, she delivered a great speech.
Yes, she was speeching it up a storm. This is the one time I'll say it, but this is just all so disgusting and clearly choreographed to make Slade
our financial planner.
Yes, to make Slade look like a good guy, to make them do like they're doing well enough financially to now have a kid and get married, which is also a falsehood, and to make them look like ritzy with a Rolls Royce, all while Slade does not have to pay back child support. And, to be like, we're responsible bringing a kid into all of this when he is neglecting his own dying son and trying to cover his tracks on camera. Okay, Jason, that's the one I'll say. Now we said it. Jason says we talk about it too much, but that's the one. I get one. So the shoot, Heather's killing it. Everyone's so impressed.
Everyone's laughing.
Tamra,
is that a pratfall?
Yeah. Classic sitcom shenanigans and hijinks. And Tamra especially loves the line, I will cut you like bad bangs, bitch.
Was that about me?
Was that about me? I fell in love a little bit. But Gretchen and Slade come late, right before, the way it's edited, it looks like they came right before the last scene. Mm-hmm. And when the lights come up, it's like they come in while, the crowd comedian trivia person is like keeping the audience warm. They come in and sit down, and then this is so weird and seems planned too. All of a sudden Gretchen's like, I can't see my phone, it's not coming up. So as the lights come out and Heather's scene starts, they walk to the side, and Slade is like helping her click things on her old flip phone during a live taping. It's just so weird. It's like it really seems like these two absolute freak shows hates that it's not about them right now, and they can't handle the jealousy, and they have to try to, it's full code red. You guys ordered a code red. You can't handle the truth. Jack Nicholson. Mm-hmm. Jack Nicholson. Kelly Ben-Simone. And we sound like her right now because of that train of thought. But anyway, it was clearly not even a shenanigan or a plot point. It was just them being so jealous that they're
just really, it's so
really
rude.
Dumb.
No, it's not just rude to Heather. It's actually rude to the entire everyone on this production. It's so, make a TV show.
How dare you?
A live audience, and there's all these things that have to go right when you're doing that, and they're just being fucking insane. So just in the words of Nene Leakes, so nasty.
So nasty, rude. So rude. And also, it's why are you even needing to be on your phone? You're supposed to put your phones away.
What are you looking at on your phone? Is your financial planner texting you?
Yeah, it's probably, honestly.
This is a problem. Do not get a Rolls Royce. Get a Honda Civic, please.
That's probably what it is. They're trying to keep pushing the Rolls Royce plot. Help me. I just want to confirm, with the financial planner.
Confirm that we're in the black here. Shut up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. It's just so it's so disrespectful to Betty White, the most beloved actress of our time. Wendy Malick. All of my favorite divas. Jane Leaves.
It's even shitty to the PAs.
It is the little people
the liners.
And the big people, and there are no little people.
But there are.
But there is a big world. And it's just more of Slade's disrespect for every woman in the cast in the world. His thinly veiled misogyny. But still, everybody goes to dinner afterwards. Heather tables the disrespect. We all celebrate Heather the conquering hero, and Terry and Heather begin to reunite and be friends again. No divorce. Although Heather punishes him for still quite a long time just to make a plot of it. She's like, I hold on to things for a long time so that I have a story arc for a few more episodes. So then later, once again, we see Vicki torn between dinner with Brooks or babysitting. She chooses babysitting, and Brooks guilts her. Ooh, that action is rising with Brooks and babysitting. Who will she choose, family or lover?
Or will she have sex?
This time she chooses baby, while Ryan and Brianna go to like army dinner, an outing.
An army dinner, yeah.
And it seems like Brooks might want to take a break. Tamra, who has been a vicious bitch all season, as we've said. So this is very interesting. They even talk about it in the book Diamonds and Rosé. This is what I alluded to before. So they film a lot of like just scenes, everyday scenes of like boring stuff that they're never actually going to use, that like sometimes the housewives think they're going to use, but it's like boring. Like Heather's kids' first steps. You know, they got it on tape, and
they're not going to use that.
They're not going to use that. But Heather's like, I should have like told me that I should film it. It's like, girl, we don't care. That. Yeah, who cares? But then, so Tamra, her thing is she's doing like something that like Vicki does a lot, which she's speaking at a women in business leadership conference. So, you know, while Vicki has these make it to air because she puts them on a cruise ship, or she trips and falls and eats shit while it's happening, Tamra, in her genius, thinks of a different way. She's like, I'm going to talk about my divorce instead of business. And she brings her mom, and instead of talking about either of those things, she just talks about what a difficult childhood she had and how she has grappled with suicide. Sorry, trigger warning, unaliving, and even had attempts at it while her mom weeps.
My first attempt at this time, at this age.
And her mom is just weeping in the audience.
Really, it was hard to...
It was crazy. And Andy was like, we've never seen anything like it. He's like, that was really Tamra's gift, was like, she knew when to channel emotion and vulnerability and bring it into the most unexpected moments. I'm like talking about her like she's dead. She might be.
Not. She survived.
Not yet. Oh, she's not. Yes, she. And yeah, lots. It was like very inspiring. It's cool to see on TV. Like it's a lot of, you know, motivational speakers.
Like if you're somebody that, like, you know, I talk a lot about it, and so do you. We've struggled a lot with our mental health. We have
had attempts.
Anxiety. I have depression. I have been hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes you think you're the only one that ever feels like that.
Especially back then, like when talking about mental health was so rare. Like, you know, if you talked about your mental health, usually ended up like Alexis, where it's like, you're faking it.
Or Kelly Ben-Simone.
Which, who, by the way, Alexis kind of followed the Kelly Ben-Simone Scary Island's defense. Systematic bullying, doubling down on that, because they're both dumb. So that's a crossover. Anyway, back to Tamra. She and her mom have this amazing heart-to-heart where Tamra, this was the really shocking part to me, where Tamra tells her mom, why didn't you ever tell me that you loved me? Like, that's, wow. It explains so much about Tamra. Like, whereas Vicki's, like, you know, desperate, empty love tank and need for attention is just something she was cosmically born with, Tamra was missing that from her parents.
She needed Vicki's dad to call her and say,
You're okay. You're okay.
You're okay.
But it seems like she and her mom have come a long way, and she understands that her parents didn't say it because they came from horrifically abusive homes and they did the best that they could. They were just terrified of their emotions and they didn't have examples. So it's a really beautiful scene, and one that impressed all the execs and sure impressed the shit out of me. She got another season, and she got the good edit from here on out, because now she understands her storyline isn't like, I'm a villain. It's that I'm a misunderstood bitch with a heart of gold who lashes out because I don't understand my emotions. She's just a terrifically talented reality star. What can I say? So then talking about untalented reality stars on the other side of the spectrum, Gretchen meets up with Lori. Do you guys remember Lori Peterson from seasons 1 through 3?
She got married and she's like, bye people, I'm rich now. I'm rich, bitch.
But also she was protecting her family. Her son had
a lot of kids.
Yes. And I think she was protecting her whole family because one of her other kids said something like a microaggression on camera too, and was getting like a lot of abuse.
George had a lot of kids too, so they were like,
it was just better for them to. She did the responsible thing. She didn't need the money. Yeah, so she walked away.
Yeah.
But she comes back because her former friend, Vicki, apparently, like, sent out an email that George's ex-wife, who I guess is still messing with them. Like, if you recall, George's ex-wife also had Josh stay with her to hurt them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But apparently there was a bunch of stuff. I'll have to check the OC register to learn the goss, but it was like maligning them. And Vicki spread it and passed it on instead of coming to Lori and talking to her and asking about it. And Lori found out from someone else. So Lori decided, you know what? Josh is doing well right now. Why don't Gretchen, you come on down to this equestrian farm that I own? Which Gretchen is like, Slade also owned horses. It's like, okay, yeah, right. And let me tell you the tea on Vicki, which is that Lori's like, I was surprised to hear about the divorce because I just always knew Vicki to be someone who openly had multiple partners. I'd never known her to not have multiple partners during her marriage.
Saw her in bed. It was a man and a woman in bed.
Under the sheets. Covers. I don't know what was happening, but...
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
An even more plausible story is that she said at an insurance conference, she saw Vicki bed a man with no teeth. And then Vicki said afterwards, who cares? I'll buy him teeth, which really tracks with her MO. She has done this on camera.
She has done that. Yeah.
To someone,
that's her thing.
Maybe it's like, it makes the cunnilingus better.
Oh my God.
It's like in a John Irving book that like the Hotel New Hampshire, John Irving, my favorite writer, a woman pops out her dentures and gives a blowjob, and it's apparently like the best blowjob ever. And maybe it's the same for like, you can gum the puss. Oh, well. Cut. This is too dirty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jason, take that part out. I've never had I've never felt teeth while being eaten out.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they can do that because they don't have these guys.
I don't want gums there either.
I don't know. I would knock it till I tried it.
I don't know. It just remind me of like a turtle or something. Like
but maybe it's erotic. Maybe it's the hillbilly's delight.
I don't know.
They all get so freaky in West Virginia. Maybe they're onto something.
She's from West Virginia. She's from the Midwest.
I know, but I'm just saying maybe the wild and wonderful whites are onto something.
Cam have teeth?
No, but I don't even really like cunnilingus. But I'm saying maybe that would make me like it. Oh. Okay. So, Gretchen is teeming with barely concealed glee, being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I know all this. And Lori's like, but you can't tell her. You got to wait till...
I didn't even tell you what happened.
Yes. And yeah. And especially because I'm coming in later in the season and I want to be the one to say it. I mean, I don't think she really does. I think she wants Gretchen to drop it first.
Yeah, she doesn't have to do the dirty work anymore.
Exactly. She's too rich for that. Yep. Gretchen is her handbag minion. Gretchen is just such a minion. Like, she's always a minion.
You have a minion shirt.
Yeah, I do. But it's ironic.
Oh.
You know.
But it's a hand-me-down.
And it's a hand-me-down. Anyway, Gretchen is like, I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this secret about Vicki because she's such a hypocrite. She says that Slade is bad, she's bad.
This is bad.
Etc., etc. So this brings us to our big climax. Speaking of cunnilingus. So this comes with Tamra's big surprise bachelorette party in Mexico. So Gretchen and Heather have planned this together. They've had several scenes fighting over how slutty the bathing suit they get her should be, etc. And Gretchen, as Tamra's current best friend, tells her to pack a suitcase for hot weather and for cold weather. What a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and also like maybe bring your passport, maybe don't bring your passport.
Like,
this was so stupid. She had to have known they were going to Mexico. Like, she shows up in to LAX at like 4 a.m. in a limo, and they're like, we're going to Mexico. I mean, it was so stupid.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, she can't like check both suitcases. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, okay, well, now I've got all my parka and my skis in Mexico.
Man, I forgot a passport because I didn't know we were leaving the country.
It's crazy, but she's still excited, and they give her like the sash, the bride sash. She's never been sashed before. Vicki shows up with like fun dick stuff. Lydia is like, scandalized.
She's my best friend now, Vicki. You didn't plan this.
And this is where it's really heating up the war between Gretchen and Vicki for
South of the border.
the South of the Border War. Yes. So they get to Mexico, and because Heather also helped plan this trip, their first stop is dinner at like
Not at a Mexican restaurant.
at a fancy French
French
Michelin star restaurant, and
Yeah.
it's very stuffy and like at first
white linen tablecloths.
Yeah.
And
Lydia's like, can we get?
It's not for a bachelorette party. It's not for any party.
But I bet this is where
That's
like
romantic.
Heather had her bachelorette party. I bet she went to like
They had tea.
they had tea,
High tea.
high tea, cake that she wouldn't eat.
Cakes.
Yeah, little more like instead of cakes,
sandwiches without the bread.
Without the bread, yeah, meat cakes, lean protein cakes.
During a time it fit in for her intermittent fasting.
Yes, and also like these bitches are such like finicky eaters.
So like they all eat like children. They're like,
are there chicken nuggets?
Can I have like a well done steak?
Yeah.
What?
And then like it shows up and Gretchen's like, oh, I can't even eat this.
Can't eat it. I don't trust shrimp next to the ocean.
I mean, I think that this might have been Heather's real agenda, is like, it's always fun for us to see how classless these bitches are, like at a delicious 5-star like
I know.
place.
And why would Gretchen, like, she won't eat the shrimp that she has
ordered. It's like, why would you order shrimp?
And then she's like, you know what? I can't eat shrimp in Mexico. It's like, you're a bitch.
Yeah, she's a minion. I said, and not the fun kind that say banana.
Anything.
Yeah. So Vicki forms a little plan at this stuffy restaurant, which it's like seems so awkward. No one's really talking. Lydia's like, let's do Q&A. So like Eddie, you know, what kind of boxers or briefs? And Tamra's like, oh, you know, both. And then Lydia's like, someone else do a question, and no one else is saying anything. And finally Vicki, who's like already drunk, is like, what's his favorite position?
What's his favorite sex position?
And then Tamra's like,
what?
I guess he likes all the positions. And then it's just like quiet.
Okay.
So Vicki
and then Heather's like, not at this fancy restaurant where they know me.
Yeah. So Vicki gets her thinker thinking, and she decides to, after the meal, steal away with. She needs to woohoo. Yeah. And she takes Tamra and Lydia away to Andale's. She pretty much kidnaps them. She's like, I'm kidnapping you.
They walk there, don't
through
they?
And it's so fun, them walking through the streets.
Puerto Vallarta.
They're like buying, you know, giant drinks and glow sticks and just really
Minnie Mouse ears. Light up.
And Tamra is like
somehow getting like more drunk on the walk.
Because you can like walk around.
Drink in the street.
Yeah, and they've got like walk up bars and stuff.
Yeah. Very drunk.
Yes. And Tamra keeps telling us they're having so much fun. That's the thing about Vicki.
So much fun and dangerous.
Yes. It's very the relationship between like you know, Tamra and Vicki, it is like Tamra's like, we didn't have a breakup, like it's not like that. They really are like lovers who went through a breakup, and now like Tamra's with a new girl, Gretchen, but she doesn't fulfill her the same way Vicki Vicki like can make her laugh so hard. She woohoos with her. She's just so
Tamra's love tank.
Exactly. And like at the end of the day, Tamra can't deny that to herself. And laugh tank. Gretchen just will never be funny like Vicki.
She's actually kind of poor, so she can't
afford all this. Yeah, and she's not as connected in Mexico as Vicki.
Life insurance.
Yeah. And she's not covered if something bad happens like Vicki. So they're like dancing on the bar, having so much fun. Even Lydia is able to hang. She's getting on the bar. She's clearly like, she knows strippers are coming and she's not going to be able to do that part. So she's like, all right, I'll dance on a bar. Like God, Jesus didn't say anything about that, you know. Meanwhile,
in the back of a limo.
Yes, Gretchen and Heather are just waiting for them to come back.
They're like, how long can they be in the bathroom?
Yep, they're not like texting back or anything. Or wait, this was back when you couldn't even text overseas.
Yeah, so they're like, because they're in another country. They don't know where they have gone. They know that they have gone, and they didn't say anything, and they feel excluded, especially because they were the ones that planned the trip.
Yes.
And they were supposed to be eating frog legs in this French restaurant.
Yes. Having like a creme brulee and you know.
They all split one tiny creme brulee.
Yeah. And all of these plans have gone awry.
Which I would want to do that actually.
That's fun. Yeah. Split martinis and split desserts.
We do that.
We do that. But anyway, so after like half an hour passes and they still haven't come back, they're like, okay, probably they're fine. We don't know how long taxis run here.
With, like, cameramen.
Yeah, so obviously it's fine. They're just kind of like, Gretchen is obviously getting really worried about, like, you know, Vicki and
this whole thing planned. She has a suitcase full of props.
She doesn't get to do her hilarious prop comedy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Vicki, Tamra, her BFF, is having more fun with her ex-BFF and her true lover.
Like, Tamra's like, I feel kind of guilty, but it feels really good.
Yes. It's like, oh, it's so wrong, but it feels so right. It's, you know, these forbidden, you know, table dances they get together, you know.
Oh my God, what is that movie with Glenn Close and Michael?
Oh, Fatal Attraction?
It's like Fatal Attraction, but at Andale's.
Yes, and Vicki is the Alex. She'd boil a bunny for Tamra.
She's gonna boil a bunny to get Tamra back.
And she did admit that she kind of hatched this plan. She says, my plan worked to get you away from Gretchen. Yeah. So the girls take the girls take a taxi back to the hotel, Heather and Gretchen, and then eventually late, they
and Heather are taking their makeup off.
Yes, and just are being boring, not drinking. And then the three amigas. This was the first three amigas. They come home super drunk, and Gretchen and Heather are so mad at them. They're like, we were so worried about you. You could be dead. And they're like pretending to feel guilty, but like they don't really care. They were happy to be gone.
Well, and then Vicki keeps saying things because she's so drunk that are really funny, and then, like, you know, they're kind of being scolded by Gretchen and Heather,
but they have the giggles so bad.
Tamra are trying not to laugh, but like Vicki's being really funny, and they're fucking wasted.
Yeah, it's funny. It's very like, you know, the parents being like, you know, you were bad.
You were out too late, and I didn't know where you were. I was very worried.
And they're like, oh, I know they'll make us suffer tomorrow, but right now I'm having so much fun. Funny. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, Vicki's so drunk she pees a little on Tamra's bed. She leaves a spot on the bed in the skirt.
Yeah, Tamra's like, and this was also very funny because they break the fourth wall. She's talking to production. And
yes.
She's like, did she pee on my bed? And then they like zoom in on it, and then she's talking to him. She's like, she peed on my bed. Gross.
Ugh, Vicki.
And then this was also really funny editing. After Tamra says that, we see Vicki walking to the elevator, and on her skirt is like a giant like pee stain.
Yes, yeah.
And they zoom in on
the little spot. Yeah. Honestly, I bet she wore underwear and didn't wipe good enough. Not she peed herself.
I think I want to think she never just said that she didn't, did she?
She never denied it. Yeah, but it's not addressed again. But honestly, I know from experience, I do think that that's what the spot is.
Why don't you wipe?
No, one time when I was in high school, I used to wear no underwear, and I wore a skirt, and I was stoned, and I didn't wipe good enough that day, and everybody saw this spot on my skirt, and it was very embarrassing. So then we get the last.
Anyway.
So the next day in the limo, Lydia, the peacemaker, again really shows.
She does her best work in the back of limos when women are losing their shit.
Yes. She steps up, and she feels like, you know, Heather and Gretchen are being really cold to them and icing them out because they've been like, we're not going to bring it up again. It is what it is, but we need to move on with like everything we've planned. And Lydia's like, are you guys still mad? Because I think it would be better to talk about it now and not just like go through the motions with you super pissed and talk about it later. Like, let's air it out. And they're basically like, yes, we're very mad. It was very rude. And there's nothing you can do to make it better, and we're just going to be mad and not talk about it. Mm-hmm. And Lydia's like, what the fuck? And yeah, Gretchen, you know, kind of freaks out. And then
I have a suitcase of stuff.
Yes, Gretchen, the eternal victim, makes this all about herself. And Heather, Miss Decorum, you know, the Miss Manners, says, no, not good manners. But because Tamra is still trying to kind of play her new BFF against her old BFF, she tells Gretchen, drunkenly like, look, I didn't mean to leave you. Vicki told me she planned this and I felt really bad about that. It's only because I don't know about feelings. See, I grew up, she like basically gives the whole like speech from the women's conference again, and Gretchen's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you're forgiven.
I hear about that. I never knew.
Yep. So this is kind of where we end things for the next season. It really shows, like as Lydia says, exactly where everyone is with each other. We have the love triangle of Vicki, Tamra, and Gretchen. We have Alexis, thousands of miles away from the cast, eventually to be gone from the cast.
Excommunicated.
Yes. We have Lydia, like doing a good job, but
Lydia.
like, yes, I mean, a weird fit, but kind of stepping up, but then also not being comfortable with this, especially when the male strippers come later that night and she has to leave. And we have Heather judging everyone, and that's kind of where everyone's at, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of that's the climax and the denouement. So now let's get into a new section, character growth. Who is the protagonist? So who do you think? I think it's got to be Tamra who drives the story the most, right?
Yeah.
Like she is
because, well, one, she's adding plot just because she's talking about her wedding. She's adding things like, Eddie won't set a date, pretending to be friends with Gretchen just to like make Vicki jealous. And it's working, and it is making Vicki jealous.
Yep. She's intentionally
she's the instigator in all of the hijinks. She's actually the one I feel like that brings Lori back into the fold too.
Yeah.
Because we'll see later in the season. She brings Lori to
wedding dress shopping. Yeah. She's the one doing the most, and it's all like about this is why she pushed for the wedding to be this season, I think, so to ensure that she would be the protagonist, because everything is building. All the events are about the wedding that's at the end of the season.
Party, yeah, and also Cup Fitness. I'm opening this gym and I'm having a party at the gym, and
she, Satan works hard, but
everything is revolving around Tamra.
Yeah, Tamra Judge works harder. Yeah. So let's get deeper into the major conflicts, or as we introduced last episode, a segment called Chief Beefs. And we will identify like what type of conflict is this? Like, is this man versus nature, or woman versus nature, woman versus woman, woman versus technology? So our first is Terry versus Heather. And I would say this is the classic woman versus woman plot.
Woman versus woman.
Yes, because he is basically a housewife in this, and her scene partner. Like, he's got like housewife level skills.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know what to do with our kids, which is very housewife of him.
Yes, exactly. He's he's trying to be a silly housewife.
I know we have nannies and money and chefs, but what do I do?
What do I do? He likes to really play up like he's very like, yes, dear. Like, I'm a dumb dad. It's like, dude, you're a plastic surgeon who clearly loves his kids, but it's fun shtick. So then we have Gretchen versus Vicki versus Tamra. So I would say this is like woman versus woman versus woman, this bizarre love triangle.
Women on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Yes, all three. We have Lydia, which I think this is a woman versus God. Yeah. She's like, is she even cut out? Does God like the housewives?
Out for this?
Yes. Is Jesus okay with her being on the Housewives?
Jesus, take the wheel because I'm too drunk to drive.
And that's what she says at Andale. Yes. And then we have Alexis. I think this is like woman versus her fate. Like her fatal flaw.
Her fatal instinct.
Her fatal attraction. No, I think it's like her fate is she's come full circle. Like she, even she's on Xanax, even though she like doesn't she's still a fool, the jester.
Yeah, and the court jester.
And which still makes her hilarious on TV. She doesn't really willing to do the work. She doesn't add. She's on her own island.
Yeah, like
she's not willing to.
She's been banished to her little island.
Exactly, and she's not willing to try a battle of Waterloo to get back in. She's just kind of done.
Jumping at Sky Zone.
Yep, and we've seen like, Jim finally has a job, and Alexis is like the number one in the household now. So she's come full circle.
The group.
Number one guy in the group. Yep. Oops. Sorry, cut
Vicki
that.
torn between Brooks and her grandson, and also her daughter and her son-in-law.
Yes. So I think this is woman versus self. Like it's her head, it's her head and her heart versus her pussy.
Yeah.
She's torn.
She's torn. Like
lying.
that song,
Yeah. She's lying on the bathroom floor. This is how I feel. Okay, we already talked about the historical reception.
Cut that, Jason.
Cut that. Okay, so this let's do a foreshadowing watch. Some foreshadowing.
2 hours.
Oh, we are. Okay, let's just skip to the epilogue. Okay. So the epilogue, what have we learned from this season? I think we've learned from Tamra, it's never too late to turn your edit and storyline around with radical vulnerability.
I learned that you should not eat at a French restaurant when you're partying in Puerto Vallarta for a bachelorette.
Yeah, take notes for my bachelorette party.
Kidnapped.
By Vicki. Actually, maybe we should do it to see if she'll kidnap us.
She'll show up.
And then... yeah, be careful how you treat people if your job is being on reality TV. Right. Lori literally came back to the show because she was so pissed at Vicki. Like, just watch out.
The Housewife of Past. Was it Charles Dickens' book?
Yes. And then do not try to hog your wife's story arc or she will punish you on camera.
And don't talk about that you were asked to be in Malibu country if you weren't.
Yes.
It was for a different role. And
yep.
I talked to the producers.
Well, that's foreshadowing. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about the theme. I would say the theme of the season is forbidden lovers. Brooks is a forbidden lover for Vicki. Heather's forbidden love is her acting career.
Andale's is a forbidden lover.
Vicki and Tamra, forbidden lover. There's so many forbidden lovers all around, you know. Strippers are a forbidden lover for Lydia. Marijuana is a forbidden lover for Lydia's mom. What grade would you give this first half of season 8, Michelle?
My God. We're really in the golden years. You know, I watched this so quickly, and so did Jason. I give this an A+. This is like these are the good years.
Me too. A+.
These are the wonder years.
These are the wonder years. This is like a 5.0. You know.
This is canon.
Yeah. Yeah. These are the classics.
Yeah, this is a classic. That's right there with Great Gatsby for me.
Oh, yes.
Well, no, it's not because I do understand what's happening in the OC. I've never understood Gatsby.
Right. So we beat on penis straws against the current, born back ceaselessly and to Andales. And we'll end on that. So we also end every episode with an oral exam. It's a 1-minute segment on a pop culture topic of your choice. Michelle, are you ready for your exam? Okay.
I have an idea. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Your time starts now.
In this essay, I will prove, you know what, TikTok? I don't need to watch 12-year-olds being skincare like influencers anymore. Like, bitch, you don't need to be on retinol. You don't need to talk about wanting a mini facelift. You don't need to be giving skincare advice. You're 12. You need to be going to fucking 7th period. I don't know why you're on my For You page. It actually makes me really sad. And that's all I'm going to say. I've ended early, but it's making me sad. And also they're giving really bad advice.
Like, are they already on Tret and stuff?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Or they're wanting to get prescribed tretinoin, and I'm like, you don't need tretinoin. Wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
That's really all you need.
Yeah, your cells are already regenerating quickly enough. You don't need chemicals.
You don't need more regeneration.
Yeah. And it's probably going to irritate this generation.
There's so many like 12-year-olds that are like, get ready with me on TikTok, and they're like using like exfoliants, like toners, and like they don't need glycolic.
I would use like witch hazel cheap toner, but it dried the fuck out of my skin. They have so many more options now. And also,
you hit puberty.
Just use a gentle face wash. Like,
yeah, girls, you just need to like
Dove soap.
Cetaphil.
Yeah, Cetaphil, CeraVe, like.
Yeah, CeraVe.
Yeah.
I use CeraVe. That's the cream that I use. Like, I've used a really expensive moisturizer, but I really like their night renewal cream.
See, I've tried it. My skin, whenever it's so dry and sensitive, and whenever it gets used to a moisturizer, I have to switch it up to keep it guessing.
You use the Curology? I don't know what you use, actually.
I do Curology sometimes. Sometimes I do some, like, Korean brands of, like, triple barrier cream. Any kind of like really creamy moisturizer, I switch around. And then I started to do a serum too, and a
Yeah, you should
exfoliate.
do like a peptide serum.
It used to be the serums like I
Do a
couldn't
squalane
couldn't
oil. I use
absorb as
squalane.
well. Squalane, I don't like respond too well to it. Yeah.
I love it.
I've annoyingly sensitive skin, and it's such a curse, and I hate it.
Mhm.
But I'm blessed, you know. I could be a burn victim. And now we said it.
Burn.
Okay, cut that. All right. Okay, I had so many I wanted to talk about, but I think I'll just do this one, even though you are not familiar with this show, but I'm going to get into it anyway. Okay, this is Lauren Davis's oral exam, and my time starts now. In this essay, I will prove all of this outrage on The Challenge, which is one of my favorite shows, one of the original reality TV shows. It came after Real World and Road Rules, and it was started as drunk 20-somethings battling for, at vaguely athletic events, and also like being drunk and fucking and fighting. Anyway, so now it's kind of become what we call the fifth sport, and everything's like really, everyone's like a really serious athlete, and there isn't as much messy fighting. And like they did the last season 39, and it was so boring.
Season 39?
I know. See, it's a rich soap opera with a big history. I mean, those are General Hospital numbers, right?
That's like Simpson numbers.
Yes, and like The Simpsons, it's kind of fallen off because everyone's so boring now, and they take the sports too seriously. That's not why I'm watching. I'm watching for like the drunken shenanigans. So everyone's been really mad at Laurel, who's been on the show. I have 8 seconds for a long time. She's always been awful, a villain, laughable, how cruel she is. Now they're like, get her off the show because it's 2024. Girl, she's the only one giving messy fucking villain that and that's what I want. I want the mess.
How old are these people now?
Oh, Laurel is like 40.
No, because the challenge was all like real world people, right? So those shows haven't been on in like 49 years.
So they have circulated new people in, like as other people leave to like start careers.
They hit retirement age.
But then also now they have all stars, so they'll bring people back who are like now teachers or nurses or whatever, and they'll compete.
CJ Bananas or whatever.
Johnny Bananas. Well, he's a lifer. He's still on flagships. TJ Bananas. Well, TJ is the host, BMX star. CJ.
Is there not a CJ?
I think that there might be a CJ too.
A CJ Bananas.
I think Casey might have gone by CJ, but TJ Lavin is the host, and he's like.
It's weird that like Theo Vaughn started on.
I wish they could get him for All Stars so bad, but he's a little too rich.
You know, he's so.
There's sober people who bring the drama on the show too.
Is what I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah, he's so successful.
He's got to be the most successful guy to come out of that.
Yes,
not CJ Bananas.
Actually, Cam did a PowerPoint on this for a PowerPoint show one time, and it's Theo Vaughn is one of the most successful. The girl from The Hangover, Jamie Chung. One of the most successful.
I don't know this.
And then The Miz, the wrestler.
I don't know her.
There is a CJ on the show, CJ Kogel.
Okay, well.
I don't remember him. Well, that's the end of the episode. We love you guys. Follow us on YouTube, please. Like and subscribe. YouTube/Bravo Breakdowns. And again, keep checking up on our Instagram and TikTok because we might have some tea about Joel Kim Booster and Shannon coming pretty soon. We
might have exciting things on Tuesdays.
Yes. Oh, yes. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for our new Tuesday surprise that Michele is working on, and a bunch of great guests coming up.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you. Bye. You can get the fuck out.
You can get the fuck out.
You can get the fuck out. Bye. Wait, did it upload? It hasn't uploaded. I can't get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's pixelating a little. Wait, it's
It's thinking. It still says uploading.
Yeah, it's trying to think. Oh shit! I just missed Tyler's call.
Which Tyler? Rehab Tyler. Tell him I say hi. Yeah, why is it not uploading? What the hell? Like it's still at 99%. What's it doing? Oh boy. Oh my god.